History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace.
Welcome to Hold the Line. I'm Buck Sexton. That was President Joe Biden calling for national unity in his address earlier today. Despite days of fear stoked by the left and the corporate media, Biden's inauguration went off without incident, thankfully, calling into question, though, the necessity of the nearly 30,000 National Guard troops deployed to Washington, D.C. Big fences, barbed wire, all kinds of militarization going on. For his part, former President Trump sounded magnanimous, at least in his address prior to boarding a plane for Florida. He thanked family and supporters for helping carry him through his 4 years in office.
I want to thank all of my family and my friends and my staff and so many other people for being here. I want to thank you for your effort, your hard work. People have no idea how hard this family worked. They worked, and they worked for you.
So what can we expect in the coming days? I wish I could tell you the Democratic talk of unity and coming together came from a place of honesty, but wouldn't be able to say that to you. Would you believe me even if I did? Trump derangement syndrome isn't going to go away now that Trump is no longer president. For Democrats, it's now time to settle some scores, unfortunately. It's time for silencing opposing voices, for crushing dissent. That's what they're really planning here. That's really the idea behind all of this. Do they have any interest in a third way? Are they going to find any triangulation, a middle ground, a halfway mark? No, they have control of the House, the Senate, and of the presidency. This means we're now living in a country that's going to feel pretty different from the last one, at least for a while. We have to be prepared for what this means, even for our ability to speak out against this. You're now going to have the vast majority of the journalistic establishment completely, utterly in the pocket of a presidential administration. Dissent will no longer be treated as patriotic. Dissent is now seditious. Criticism is treason. Trying to slow down the agenda will be called obstruction. You know what all the words are and how they will be deployed going forward. And the people whose job titles are to speak truth to power, that's going to be laughable. Does anybody really believe that all of a sudden the Get Trump Out of Office crew, known as the American journalistic establishment, is all of a sudden going to decide, after 4 years of nothing but that, they're going to be fair? They're going to call balls and strikes? All Joe Biden has to do is show up, and they'll say that he's a genius. All he has to do is be Joe Biden, and we'll be told that he's the greatest president since Barack Obama, for sure. That much we know, but he's one of the greats of our generation. Whatever they have to say, they'll say. It doesn't matter if they change their mind at the end of his presidency. It doesn't matter how long he decides he's even going to stay in office. Will he run for a second term? At the end of the day, the journalists have made their pick, and we know what that means. But the bigger concern is how you now have the state in the hands of the same people who were advocating for so much suppression of ideas they don't like leading up to this election. But this has been building for a very long time. They simply view speech that they oppose, they view ideas that contradict their own as too problematic to exist. We can't even coexist with our ideas in the internet ecosystem. You'd think that there's space for everything there, but no, we get pushed off of it. And now, well, you're going to see an alliance of sorts between all of those who have been building up and controlling institutions even while Trump was president, and the people who have, through this election, seized power, taken power legitimately, but they are now in charge. That's what's going on here. There's going to be no honeymoon between Trump supporters and this Biden administration, okay? That's not going to happen. We understand that there won't be any effort to look to what was done before and say, maybe some of this could continue. Maybe there were some good ideas. The only possible exception to that may be the vaccine. And let's see how well they do with that. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. I hope that they do an incredible job with the distribution of this vaccine. But I know that Joe Biden has been a middling mediocrity for longer than I've been alive. That's actually true. What makes anybody think that all of a sudden he's going to become tactically proficient, that he's going to become a man of wisdom, a guy who makes good decisions? I would like to be proven wrong. In fact, I'll put my marker down here today. I want to be wrong. I want to see a Biden administration that ends the pandemic, that opens America, that gets us past all this stuff, a booming economy, no foreign wars we don't need, believes in an America First trade policy, secures our borders. But as I say more and more of this, because these are things that would be good for the country, you're probably already saying, well, that's just not going to happen, is it? Exactly. The coming months are not going to be particularly pleasant for those of us who felt the Trump agenda was moving the country in the right direction, but we will continue on as we are, and there are certainly better times, better elections, maybe even better candidates ahead. Hey Team Buck, just want to say thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more great content from The First, please click that subscribe button.